Good evening. Pick a deck and we'll do a reading. The subject tonight being personal growth. I'll give you a moment. Take a deep breath. Make your choice. Timestamps are down below. All right, for the friends who chose the fairy deck, we'll get your reading started. Subject being personal growth. First question, where am I now? Always a good first question to ask. Those who chose the fairy deck, where are they now? Those who chose the fairy deck. I think we're a little jumbled and we need to focus our energy a little bit. So breathe with me, guys. A cardinal just flew from the bird feeder. Where are they now? Thank you. All right. Right now, Justice, number 8. Take the time to review the details carefully. You will win in the end fair and objective decisions. So right now you could be awaiting some sort of result. You could be about to be examined or take an exam of some sort. You could be about to be judged in some way. You could be in a situation where you're being scrutinized. But 8 is the number of abundance, and this card is generally positive. So, though it may be a stressful time, it's a good time. Yay. Let us move on. What is the first step to grow? What's the first step? I like to talk in action steps. I don't like fucking around with the fluff. We're going to get right into what are we going to do. We know where we are. What are we going to do about it? 2 of Autumn, which would be your 2 of Pentacles equivalent. Bring fun into everything you do. Juggling multiple priorities or jobs. An exceptional talent for multitasking. So you may need to get your hustle on. You may need to, focus on multiple projects all at once. But luckily for you, you have a talent for this. You have the ability to, juggle multiple things, as in like the 2 of Pentacles. So take your time. Make sure you're aware of all the details, just like our Justice card said. But also don't be afraid to take on multiple projects and try to maybe take on a second job if you need to. Or take on a volunteer project, or take part in something in your community, whatever it may be. Don't be afraid to take on extra commitments right now. It's not going to count against you. It may favor you in the long run. All right, that's step 1. Cool, we love that. How do we maintain our progress? That's the word. How do we, that was quick. So this is how do we maintain our progress? We know our next step, next right thing. How do we maintain our good habits, the things that we've already built up? The Ace of Winter is your first card. Don't be deterred by challenges. It's important to communicate clearly and accurately and amazing new ideas that should be implemented. So don't be afraid to present new ideas, but also make sure you're communicating clearly about what exactly it is that you want done or how you want it to be done. Make sure you're always communicating often and clearly. I always like to over communicate. 3 of Spring is the next card. Plan your next steps with an eye to the long term. Have patience. There are more good things to come. Satisfaction from a job well done. So all of these cards so far are pretty positive. You're heading in a really positive direction. You've already made a lot of really positive progression in your life. So this is good. I do want to point out that the Three of Spring is asking you to plan out your next steps with an eye to the long term, and that does bring me back to that Justice card that asks you to take time to review details. So make sure that you're on top of your details. You're dotting your I's, crossing your T's, all that little stuff. Seven of Summer, no more procrastinating. Your power comes from making a decision. Confusion that arises from overanalyzing the options. Okay. So again, that brings me back to the Two of Autumn, where we want to make sure we're, sorry, thought I saw something, where we want to make sure we're taking on those extra things, pursuing those extra ideas, and not hesitating to do those things, not putting them off any longer. Don't get stuck in that analysis paralysis. Love that. All right. And a word of advice, please. A word of advice. Anything you would like to offer, please? I asked for a word, but we got a pile, so we're going to try and get through it really quick, okay? The Seven of Spring, be assertive. The Six of Spring, wonderful news is on the way. 0, the Dreamer, that's the Fool card, my friend. That's full of potential. Embrace your true purpose. 4 of Winter, set aside your concerns for now. You can make a decision later. And 14, Balance. Take everyone's input into consideration. Set aside your concerns, take others' input into consideration, but be assertive. You have a lot of potential right now, and things are looking up in general. So, yeah, this one says merge viewpoints to create a better solution. So there's probably a situation where you're going to need to hear someone out, and you may need to try and meld multiple ideas to make something work. So keep that in mind as you go forth. Thank you so much for joining me here. I deeply appreciate your time. I know you could spend it literally anywhere else, so thank you. I will hopefully see you in the next one. If you chose the Kawaii Tarot, this is for you. We're just looking for general personal growth. Our first question is going to be, where are we now? For those who chose the Kawaii Tarot, where are we now? Strength, that's 8. The fairy deck also got the 8 of their major arcana. It is slightly different, but for this, strength. So that's going to be your inner strength, but also your ability to draw positive attributes out of others when you're around them. Leading through example, that sort of thing. So you're in a position where you may be leading through example, you may be bringing out the best in a team or bringing out the best in someone in your life. You may be working to bring out the best in yourself, whatever the case may be. Strength, that's what it's supposed to be. It's just supposed to be that positive attribute of, being the kind of person who can be positive in a way that isn't pushy, but is loving and supportive in a way that brings out the best in people. And that can take a lot of different forms, but that's where you're at right now. And that's a good place to be. I like that place. All right. So the next set of cards is going to be the next steps. my dog. The next steps in your growth. You got 4, and they're looking interesting. So we got the 2 of Pentacles. So that's, don't be afraid to balance multiple things. Don't be afraid to take on multiple projects. We also got the Tower. So something out of your control could be shifting, changing in a big way very suddenly. Remember that the Tower is something that you are not necessarily going to be seeing coming. It could come out of left field. It could be something deeply unexpected. It could be something that you kind of expected, but you didn't expect right now. But whatever the case, good or bad, it's a big, big, big shift that is 100% out of your control. So there's nothing you can really do about it, but be ready to juggle multiple things in order to get through it. We also have the Wheel of Fortune. So whatever your fortune's been, it's kind of shifting right now. So be aware that there is a shift in luck. There's a shift in check your star charts. Planets may be moving in a way that are fucking with you. So that's something that you should probably look at. But with the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower, there's nothing but change coming up real quick, and it's all outside of your control. All of this is all fate and big forces outside of what you can do. So just get ready for a ride. You also have the Page of Pentacles, so that bodes well. You have a stable base, so you have the ability. These 2 pentacles together have the ability, in like a jestery way, to kind of get through anything. It feels very Bugs Bunny in a way. You know, you kind of have this magical bucket that you can kind of pull anything out of, and you can get yourself through any situation creatively. But it's through like planning and preparedness and being open to like shifting and changing, that kind of thing. All right, so cool. Next steps, be ready for some big changes, be ready to be flexible, be prepared for anything. So that's our next steps. Do we have any advice? Oh, I feel like I'm missing a step here. I'm missing a question. The next steps. Well, let's get our advice and we'll see if I remember. All right, any advice going into these big changes? Ooh, there we go. And we probably needed to get this before we move on to anything else. We have the Fool and the 4 of Swords. So you have a lot of potential, you have a lot of ability, you can do anything, but you have to remember to rest. You have to remember to relax your mind, to sometimes prioritize relaxing your brain, bringing yourself down anxiety-wise. Try to stop those thoughts. Meditation, listening to music, art, whatever works to quiet the things going on up there. That's going to be priority number 1 if you want to get through whatever's coming your way. That's the advice we got from our guides here. All right. Anything else? Last words? Anything else that needs to be said? Please, guys. All right, we're gonna run through this real fast, okay? We got 2 7s. We've got the Empress and the Emperor. We've got balance in your masculine and feminine energies. So that's your push and your pull. That's your ability to push your ideas out and also to receive new ideas. It's your ability to take responsibility and be an action taker, and also allow others to bring themselves to you and be like a safe space. So yes, these are good. This is a good, oh, I love that. That's good. We love to be in that space. And then these 2 7s, the 7 of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles, we have the Sun in both of them. The 7 of Wands, I do believe, and please correct me if I've got this wrong, the 7 of Wands is you being on the defensive in a way, but you have kind of the high ground. So you have the moral high ground in some cases, but in a lot of cases it's the emotional stability of the Four of Wands under here that gives you kind of an advantage over either someone else or a situation. And then the Seven of Pentacles is that waiting period before growth happens. So you gotta be patient with yourself, be patient with the growth process, and be patient through whatever changes are coming up. You have the ability, you have this very balanced, grounded, responsible energy, and you have this very grounded, emotional energy that can get a little high-strung at times, possibly, but if we factor in this patience here, we have the ability to kind of tame that emotional bit and keep ourselves on an even keel. And I really like this reading. I think if we prioritize rest and emotional stability and self-control, we really have the potential to get through pretty much anything that the universe wants to throw our way. Love that for you, love that for me. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time. I know you could spend it anywhere, so thank you for spending it with me. I will hopefully see you in the next one.